One beautiful morning in their cozy little kitchen, Dad was busy preparing a meal. When he realized the salt jar was empty, he called out, "Lily, come here a second, I need your help." Lily, the clever little monkey, ran in immediately, her big round eyes waiting expectantly.
Đi giúp ba mua một cái bì muối nha. Bà bẻ bằng ngâm cái khoai tây tí ha. Được không? Nha.
Ok.
Đi lấy cái túi đi. Lấy túi. Đúng rồi. Giỏi lắm. Đây này.
Today's mission was very important. Lily had to go to the market to buy a pack of salt so Dad could soak the potatoes.
Đây bà có cái này. Đây bà tiền vào để đây nhá. Đi mua giúp bà nhá. Đúng chưa?
Before she left, Dad carefully put money in her bag,
Có thêm này cho Ly này.
worried she might get hungry on the way.
Đây.
Dad also thoughtfully packed a
Đây
fresh
Ly nhá. Lúc
tangerine,
nào đi đói lấy ăn nhá. Đừng lấy tiền đi mua tiền nhá, nghe chưa?
but he didn't forget to remind her,
Rồi, Lily.
this is to
Rồi,
eat
đây.
if you get
Bà lấy mũ
hungry.
đi. Bà kia.
Absolutely do not use the money to buy snacks. Lily nodded eagerly, looking determined, and happily set off. The road to the market was fun, with lively music mixing with the sound of Lily's happy footsteps. After walking for a while, her legs felt a bit tired, so she decided to rest on a large rock by the roadside. She took out the tangerine Dad gave her and peeled it to eat. But Lily was a bit careless. While taking out the fruit, the money in her bag accidentally fell out without her noticing. She was too busy enjoying the sweet tangerine and the cool breeze. After finishing her snack, she skipped along to the grocery store. When she arrived, the friendly shopkeeper asked, "Hello, Lily. What would you like to buy
Mua
today?"
gì Lily? Hả? Bà muốn mua gì? Đó, bà muốn gì bà lựa đi.
Remembering Dad's words, Lily quickly went to the shelf and picked the exact pack of salt she needed. She confidently brought it to the counter.
Ồ, này không phải tiền. Tiền của bạn đâu?
She pulled out an object, but the
Tiền đâu
shopkeeper
rồi?
shook her
Cái này
head.
không phải tiền.
"That's not money, Lily." Lily's face turned pale. She searched the whole bag, but it was empty. Suddenly, Lily remembered resting on the rock earlier. Without hesitating, she turned around and ran as fast as she could back to that spot. Back at the rock, Lily looked around frantically. And there it was. The bill was stuck right between two rocks where she had sat to eat the tangerine. Lily happily picked up the money, clutched it tight, and ran all the way back to the shop. Seeing Lily return, panting for breath, the shopkeeper smiled. This time, Lily proudly handed over the money and received the pack of salt.
Bye.
Thank you.
When she got home, Dad praised her as he took the salt. "Thank you, Lily." Immediately, Dad started cooking.
Lên đây. Vào đây con. Đây. Cảm ơn Ly nhé. Đấy, băng ngâm cái này. Băng ngâm một xíu ha. Ngâm một tí cho nó khỏi hư nhé con nhé, nó giòn ha.
He explained to Lily that soaking potatoes and carrots in salt water helps remove the sap, starch, and makes them much crispier and tastier when cooked.
Cảm ơn Ly nhé, có muối ăn ở đấy. Rồi, ok. Luộc cái này cho Ly nhé, được không? Đó.
Soon enough, a pot of carrots and potatoes was on the stove cooking away.
Rồi, chờ xíu ha.
Another beautiful morning began at Lily's small house. As usual, Dad woke up early to prepare a delicious breakfast for Lily.
Tôi làm đồ ăn để Ly ăn ở nhà chơi nhé, Ly nhé. Được chưa? Rồi, đây. Đây, đây. Đi ăn ở nhà để ba nhé, được chưa?
Before hoisting his hoe onto his shoulder to go to the fields, Dad patted Lily's head and reminded her, "Be a good girl at home, eat your breakfast, and watch the house." Morning sunlight gently filtered into the living room, shining on the bed where Lily was relaxing. The little monkey had just woken up, her eyes still a bit dreamy, enjoying the quiet peace of the early morning. A moment later, Dad walked in, bringing the cool breeze and the scent of the garden with him. Seeing his little girl was awake, Dad walked over, his voice warm and caring. "Did you sleep well, Lily? Have you been up long?"
Ngồi chơi nhé. Nhà có buồn không? Buồn có buồn không? Nhà có buồn không? Thế xem nào. Sửa. Lily, lấy ghế. Lấy ghế cũng được, lên ngồi ha. Thử xem tay đi.
After asking how she was, Dad rubbed his belly and sighed. "Wow, Dad is so hungry, Lily." You'd think Lily would just stare blankly, but no, she seemed to understand everything. Lily got to work immediately. She waddled off and came back with a treasure in her hand, a pack of instant beef pho, holding it up proudly to show Dad. Dad smiled and decided to let Lily be his sous chef.
Đấy. Thơm lắm nhỉ. Con bỏ này qua kia cho bà nhé, để bà nấu nước. Làm mì nhé. Nè, mì đây này. Đây là phở, đúng rồi. Nè, phở này, phở đây là gì này, thấy không? Đây là muối. Là vịt.
Can you open this, Lily? Dad handed her the tiny seasoning packet.
Bóc cái đường bà đây. Nè, bóc này.
Lily's small hands worked quickly to take it. Dad watched her work with joy, constantly praising his daughter's smarts and helpfulness.
Đây là phở bò, đến với cốt nha. Rồi bây giờ bà làm cái ly nhá, bà làm ly đồ ăn cái ly nhá, ly ngồi đó, ly ngồi đó. Đây. Bà cho đi cái bánh nha. Bỏ đây con, bỏ đây. À đúng rồi, đấy. Cái bánh đẹp nhỉ, nè, hết. Tí nữa ăn nha, tí nữa ăn nha.
Once the water was boiling, everything was ready. The water is very hot. Sit down carefully, Lily, Dad gently reminded her as they sat at the table. In front of Lily now was a steaming bowl of beef pho and a plate of fragrant buns. Without waiting, Lily started enjoying her achievement.
Bánh bao ấy.
Watching her eat deliciously, her eyes lighting up with pleasure as she tasted the soft bun and the savoury broth. Dad felt the meal tasted twice as good.
Ngon ly.
Is it yummy, Lily? Eat up! Dad's encouraging words mixed with the happy chewing sounds of Lily created a space filled with love.
Ngon quá hả?
That breakfast wasn't just about pho and buns. It was full of the flavour of simple happiness between Dad and daughter.
Cái miếng nào? À. Miếng này.
On another morning, Lily woke up in bed, her eyes still sleepy. Wearing a yellow shirt and shorts, she quickly got out of bed and ran outside.
Oh my god!
There he was! Her dad was riding his motorcycle out the gate. No, I don't want you to go, Lily thought, rushing to try and pull the gate closed. But the man was already gone, leaving Lily behind with a puzzled and bewildered look, watching his figure disappear down the road. No! Dad can't leave me home alone. Lily was determined. She burst out of the gate and ran down the dirt road. She ran and ran.
Alo.
Finally spotting her dad's figure in the distance. Dad, wait for me, Lily cried out in her heart.
Oh, Dad! Dad! Dad!
She started to take a shortcut, hoping to cut him off. And then, a miracle happened. Lily appeared right in front of her dad, blocking his motorcycle. The man smiled at his little daughter,
Lily,
unable
Có
to
đang ở nhà mà
refuse
sao ra
her.
đây đứng vậy?
He stopped the
Đi ra đây
bike,
lúc nào rồi, Ly?
affectionately stroked Lily's head.
Ủa sao Ly? Tao biết ba ở đây mà tìm. Hả? Tao đi mua ăn sáng rồi về mà, mua đồ ăn sáng cho Ly nhá. Thấy chưa? Sao về nhà ngoan nhá. Đi mua đồ ăn sáng cho Ly xong rồi về nhá. Nhá, đừng đi theo nhá. Thấy chưa? Thấy chưa? Thôi mình đi mua đồ nhá, được không? Ông chặt vào nhá, ông chặt vào ngã nhá. Thấy chưa? Ông chặt vào. Đúng rồi. Giỏi quá. Đi về nhá, đi mua đồ xong rồi về ha.
And then they went for a walk together, enjoying an unplanned yet affectionate journey. Today was Dad's birthday. A grand and loving plan began to form. To carry out the plan, the first thing she needed was money. Lily began her secret mission. She took the phone, looked up the information for a bakery, and quickly ordered a birthday cake. She searched every nook and cranny, and finally, inside a cabinet, she found her treasure, a red piggy bank. Without a moment's hesitation, Lily used all her might to push the piggy bank to the floor, where it shattered on impact. The saved coins clinked cheerfully as they spilled out. Before long, a delivery person brought a lovely cake box to the door. Lily joyfully accepted it and placed the cake on the table. The delivery person kindly helped Lily open the box, and immediately, a sweet strawberry scent filled the room. Before her was a snow-white cream cake, decorated with plump red strawberries and fluffy swirls of frosting. It was so beautiful, so perfect. Just have to wait for Dad to come home, Lily told herself, trying to contain her excitement. But time passed slowly, and Dad still wasn't home. The aroma of the cake was too alluring, wafting into every corner, constantly teasing Lily's little tummy. Finally, temptation won. Just one tiny piece, she reassured herself. The sweet, rich taste melted on her tongue. It was more delicious than anything she had ever tasted. But one piece turned into another piece. And then she grew bolder, picking off a whole strawberry. In her blissful enjoyment, she accidentally leaned too far, and with a splat, a large dollop of cream fell right onto her school uniform. Startled and horrified, Lily looked down at the white stain on her shirt. Panic! If Dad saw this, the secret would be revealed, and he would surely scold her. She couldn't let that happen. She quickly took off the stained uniform and rushed it to the bathroom. With her tiny hands, she clumsily turned on the tap, splashing water all over the stain. She grabbed a bar of soap bigger than her fist and tried to scrub the cream out. Water and soap bubbles flew everywhere, but Lily didn't care. She put the shirt on the washboard and used all her might to scrub and knead, determined to destroy the evidence. After a great battle with the stain, she struggled to wring the clothes dry. Water was still dripping everywhere, but she couldn't wait any longer. She carried the soaking wet uniform outside, stood on her tiptoes on a stone, and stretched as far as she could to hang it on the clothesline. To hide all traces of her deed, she put on the new, clean dress she had bought earlier. Then returned to her study desk and pretended to wait obediently, her heart still pounding.
Lily. Ủa? Trời. Sao vậy? Ủa? Sao thế này? Sao eo của Lily mà lại vỡ thế này trời?
When her dad returned, the first thing he saw was the shattered piggy bank on the floor. Thinking his little daughter had been making mischief again, he couldn't hide his fatigue and annoyance.
Lily. Tao bảo là Lily ơi. Lily, câu hỏi này. Lily, ba hỏi này.
Lily, was this you again? He said in a loud voice. Unjustly scolded.
Này có thấy không? Đây này, thấy chưa? Bể heo thấy chưa? Con lấy tiền làm gì? Đứng im.
Lily just silently bowed her head, her eyes welling up with tears. But she offered no
Người ta đang nói
explanation.
mà. Tiền là bể heo làm gì? Hay là lỡ đụng vào nó? Đúng không đi? Rồi sao lấy tiền mua đồ ở đây? Lấy tiền đâu mua quần áo? Sao? Tiền đâu con mua quần áo? Bây giờ làm sao có tiền mua đồ, mua trái cây cho Ly đây? Hết tiền mua trái cây rồi. Làm sao? Dỗi à? Làm sao? Không biết nói gì luôn.
She wanted to keep the secret until the very end. Seeing that her dad was still angry, Lily quietly approached him and gently tugged on his pant
Thấy
leg.
hả?
She led him to the table where the birthday cake was hidden.
Ây trời
When her
ơi.
dad saw the cake with its loving message, he was stunned.
Gì đây?
All his anger instantly vanished,
À.
replaced by astonishment,
Đi
then
mua bánh kem ba
emotion,
hả?
and finally
Mà sao ăn
regret.
mất miếng rồi? Nè.
He understood
Ăn mất miếng rồi
everything.
nè.
Oh,
Mà
my
không được
daughter,
bánh kem, ăn
he
một
choked
nửa
out.
nhé.
I'm so
Ăn
sorry.
chưa?
I didn't know.
Ngồi đây. Rồi đến đâu đi? Đến đâu đi? Ôi rồi, đây hả? Rồi cảm ơn Ly nhá. Cầm đây nha. Đây đúng không hả? Đúng không nhỉ?
Thank you for everything, Lily. He swept his little girl into a tight hug. All misunderstandings were washed away. Under the glowing candlelight, the father and daughter shared the sweet cream cake, a simple birthday party that was perhaps the warmest and most meaningful one in the world.
Đang Kiều đi ăn bánh đó. Đây này, đi ăn bánh đi. Đây này đi. Đó, làm gì đâu. Làm trái cây nhá. Đi mua bánh bao nhiêu ấy Lý? Mua bao nhiêu tiền này? Hả? Ngon quá ha? Đúng ngon quá nhỉ? Cảm ơn Ly nhé. Chúng ta bao nhiêu tiền Ly lại đi mua cái heo mới nha Ly nhé. Mua cái heo mới nhá. Cất tiền nhá. À, con ăn con đây hả? Đúng rồi.
Chef, Lily, and the flower accident. Bored from not being able to go out, Lily started looking for fun inside the house. She went into the kitchen, a place always full of mystery and appeal. Today, I'll be a chef, Lily thought, her eyes shining brightly. Lily opened a kitchen cabinet, looking inside curiously. She tried to reach for a large jar on a high shelf. Oops! Lily gasped. The jar of flour tipped over, pouring all over her, covering her from head to toe in white powder. The flour not only covered Lily, but also
Oh my
spilled
gosh.
all over the kitchen floor. Lily stood there stunned for a moment, then her eyes widened. Oh no! What if Dad sees this? Lily looked around in a panic. There was no time to be scared. She immediately began her cleanup mission. Lily used her hands to scrape the flour on the floor, trying to gather it. After a period of hard work, the floor was relatively clean, but Lily was still covered in flour, looking quite comical.
Ly ơi, Ly. Ly, đâu rồi? Ủa, đâu rồi? Ly ơi Ly, bố về kìa. Ly ơi, Ly, đâu rồi? Trời, cái gì này? Cái gì buồn tùm lum này? Ly ơi, Ly.
The man walked into the
Làm gì
kitchen
đấy?
and saw Lily in her
Làm gì
white-coated
đấy?
state. He looked around, saw the remaining traces of flour on the floor,
Ui
and then
trời
looked back
ơi,
at Lily.
sao mặt mũi bẩn thế này hả? Toàn bột này.
He smiled and shook his
Trời,
head,
cái gì này?
not knowing
Xem
whether
nào.
to scold or feel sorry for his mischievous
Ui,
daughter.
này. Ui trời ơi, sao? Không muốn làm bánh hả? Hả? Muốn làm bánh thì gọi ba nhé. Nè, làm bánh cho Ly nhé. Ui, cẩn thận làm đổ nhé. Ui trời, thế quên mất nhỉ. Ra đây vào làm bánh nhá. Ra đây ngồi vào làm bánh nhá. Đây, ngồi đây ha. Vào xem nào. Hết quần áo rồi. Thôi để từ lau tay sạch sẽ để ba.
He gently picked Lily up and used a towel to wipe the flour off her. That afternoon, Lily was coming home from school. On the dirt path in the middle of a vast field, suddenly, Lily saw a tree laden with dark berries. So yummy, she thought, quickly climbing the tree. Her small fingers nimbly picked the berries and popped them into her mouth. Lily ate them deliciously, completely unaware that she was bringing trouble upon herself.
Oh my gosh!
After eating her fill, Lily skillfully climbed down and continued on her way home. Arriving at the gate, Lily went inside, carefully setting down her bag and taking off her hat. Suddenly, a sharp stomachache hit her. Ouch! My tummy hurts so much. Lily clutched her stomach, her face scrunched up in pain. She rushed straight to the bathroom. She hurriedly took off her clothes, throwing them into a basin. But frustratingly, the stubborn paper diaper was stuck fast, and she struggled but couldn't get it off. The pain grew worse, and Lily was on the verge of tears. In this moment of crisis, her only hope was her sleeping dad. Lily rushed out of the bathroom and climbed onto the bed. She gently crept closer and used her tiny fingers to poke him, trying to wake him up.
Gì Ly? Trời ơi.
The man woke up to see his little daughter with a
Gì vậy?
tearful face, pointing at her diaper.
Chào. Trời, cái gì vậy con? Cái gì đây? Quần áo
He
đâu?
smiled, immediately understood the problem, and pulled her
đi
into
vệ
a
sinh hả?
hug.
Đi vệ sinh hả? Để xem nào. Ui, trời ơi. Đau bụng hay gì mà ị đầy đấy hả? Ăn gì đúng không? Ăn gì bậy bậy đúng không? Thôi đi rửa nhá.
He
Đi rửa tay nhá,
affectionately
rửa
soothed
nhá.
Lily and then carried her back to the bathroom.
Nha. Ghê quá ha. Đây, thôi đây, đây mình đi cho Ly nha. Túi nào xem nào. Đến đây. Nè.
He sat her on the toilet and gently helped her remove the troublesome diaper.
Ghê trời ơi. Thôi đứng im nào, đứng im nào. Đây. Đứng im nào, đi nào. Đi nào.
Afterwards, he used the shower sprayer to wash her carefully
nha.
and gently.
Đi mai để cho Ly nha. Đi thúi nha. Chưa? Ui, đi thúi nha. Đi thúi. Tắm luôn ha. Tắm không? Đi thúi xong rồi. Tay đâu? Tay đâu? Tay đâu? Tay túi đâu? Rồi, xong rồi. Rồi quá ha. Ui. Nè.
On another morning, Lily was sleeping soundly in her soft bed, her eyes still tightly shut. When she finally woke up, she stretched and then dutifully went into the bathroom.
Dad.
As was her routine, Lily sat properly on the toilet. But perhaps because she was so tired from the night before, sleepiness suddenly washed over her again. Her head began to nod, her eyes slowly closed, and eventually Lily fell asleep right there on the toilet, without realizing it. A while later, the man returned home from an outing. As he walked in the door, he called out loudly, "Lily, Dad's home!" His loving voice echoed into the bathroom, startling Lily awake. She looked around dazed, then, as if remembering her task,
Oh.
she quickly flushed the toilet. Afterward, Lily went to the sink, got some soap, and washed her hands and face properly. Once she was neat and tidy, she ran out to the living room to find her dad, ready for a new day full of love.
Đến đây ngồi được không? Ui, làm gì đây? Làm gì mà áo ướt hả? Đi vệ sinh hả? Đây ha, xem nào. Mặt sạch chưa? Tay sạch chưa? Ui, tay sạch thế. Tay sạch ha.
After their short trip, the man returned home, looking quite tired. Lily watched her dad sleep soundly, then glanced at the door. A mischievous idea sparked in her mind. If he doesn't have the keys, he can't go anywhere else. With that thought, Lily gently climbed off the chair and tiptoed to the table. She carefully picked up the keychain and ran to a corner of the house. After looking around, she decided to hide her treasure inside the blue trash can. This way, Dad will stay home with me all day, she giggled to herself. Once her task was complete, Lily climbed back onto the bed, lay down next to her dad, and pretended she knew nothing.
Hi.
Lily, dậy rồi hả?
A while
Dậy
later,
nào
the man woke up.
Dậy sớm này. Không ngủ tí nữa hả? Dậy sớm này. Đói bụng chưa? Đi mua gì ăn đi ha? Đi. Đi mua gì ăn nhé. Dậy thôi ha. Dậy thôi. Gấp chặt lại nhé. Chân của Ly lại nhé. Đi ra đây, đi ra đây. Gấp lại nha, gọn gàng nào. Đi, đi đi. Đi này. Đi lên nhà này, đi. Đây đi, ra đây ngồi này, các bạn này. Đây 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 đây. Đây đi. Con đi đâu đấy? Đi đâu đấy? Ly ở đây nhá. Ngồi đi chơi chưa? Ba đi chợ nhá. Ha? Thấy chưa? Để cất mũ cho Ly nhá. Thôi ngồi đây chơi đi ha. Ba đi tìm chìa khóa, ba đi chợ tí nhé. Cái chìa khóa ở đây đâu đi nhỉ? Chìa khóa đâu đấy? Cái chìa khóa bỏ trên bàn đâu rồi?
He looked around, then panicked when he couldn't find the keychain. He searched everywhere, on the table, under the chair, but it was nowhere to be found. He walked into the house and looked at Lily suspiciously. Lily, where are Dad's motorcycle keys? In response, she just shook her head with an innocent, blameless look. Just as he was getting flustered, his phone rang. The man answered it and stepped outside to talk.
Hello. À mẹ hả? Dạ. Dạ dạ.
As soon as her dad was out of sight, Lily sprang into action. She rushed to the trash can and quickly pulled out the keychain. Lily ran up to him, holding up the keys as if in triumph. Dad, I found them! The man was surprised, then overjoyed. He took the keys and affectionately patted his clever daughter's head, completely unaware that the hero who found the keys was also the culprit who had caused the whole incident.
Cho ăn bà Ly. Thôi bây giờ ba cho Ly đi cùng nhé. Ba cho Ly đi chơi với ba nhé. Đi mua đồ ăn nhé. Được không? Đi giỏi lắm. Đi, đi này, đi này. Đi lên mũ nhé. Đi. Đây, mũ này, mũ đây, đây đi. Cái túi này này. Mũ. Đây, giỏi lắm. Cái túi thành. Đúng rồi đấy. Rồi, ra xe, đi ra xe. Lên xe ngồi đi, lên xe ngồi. Đi này. Ở đây con, ở đây. Rồi, đi quay lại. Rồi, cẩn thận nhá, giữ chắc tay ha.
After hanging the clothes, Dad went to the kitchen to cook lunch. He opened the rice bin, but it was empty except for one small handful.
Mẹ hãy gạo đi ha.
He sighed and checked his old wallet.
Tiền đi lấy gạo nhé.
There were only a few small bills inside, not enough to buy more rice.
Ủa, không đủ đâu. Thôi, hôm nay không đủ tiền mua gạo rồi. Ba còn mỗi 5.000 thôi Ly à.
A worried look crossed his
Không
face.
đủ đâu. Tôi đi ở nhà nhé. Giờ đi ở nhà bà nhé. Ba đi làm rồi lấy tiền mua đồ ăn nhé. Ha. Để tạm đây đi ha.
Lily, Dad said gently, please stay here and study. I'm going to the garden to find vegetables to sell. We need money for rice. Lily looked up and saw the worry in his eyes, even though he tried to hide it. Okay, Dad, be careful, she said.
Đi ở nhà nhé.
Dad put on his hat, grabbed a hoe, and walked silently to the garden. Lily tried to focus on her laptop lesson, but she kept thinking about her dad. Suddenly, a video of a street performer playing guitar popped up. An idea sparked. She looked at her small wooden guitar, a special gift from her dad. I have to help Dad, she thought. Lily shut the laptop, grabbed her guitar, and put on her straw hat. She ran all the way to the small, busy market.
Oh,
She found a corner, placed her hat on the ground upside down, and took a deep breath. She began to play.
hi.
But people just hurried past.
Dễ thương quá đi.
Her music was quiet and hesitant, lost in the noise of the market. This time, the music was not timid. It was strong and clear. The new energy made people stop and listen.
Hi. Hi.
The first coin landed in her hat
Thank
with
you.
a clink, then a second and a third. People smiled and put money in her hat. Soon her hat was full of small change. Thank you, Lily whispered, her face red with happiness.
Ahem. Thank you.
Wow, what's up, amazing.
She gathered the money and ran to the general store.
Hi.
Mua gì đó Lily? Hôm nay cửa hàng tôi có cam ngọt lắm. Cậu ăn thử đi, ngọt lắm. Nếu chua tôi sẽ hoàn tiền cho. Cam ngọt lắm Lily. Bạn mua thử đi. Nếu chua tôi sẽ hoàn tiền lại cho bạn.
She used some of the money to buy some juicy oranges, the kind her dad loved but rarely bought. Holding the oranges, Lily ran straight to the garden. Dad! She called.
Ủa?
He looked
Đi đâu
up,
bán Lily?
surprised to see her.
Bán gì cho ai đây?
Lily,
Bán cho ba hả?
where did you get the money for
Hả?
this?
Bán cho ba hả? Ủa tiền của con ở đâu đây? Ở đâu có tiền này? Tiền này ở đâu?
Lily, still breathing hard, told him the whole story. The laptop idea, the failed first attempt, and her success with the new song.
Lily làm cái xí đó nè. Lily giỏi quá nhỉ?
Dad listened, speechless.
Con đây của con nhé.
He pulled his
Cho ba
little
hả?
girl into a
À,
tight
Lily,
hug.
Đổi nó lại đi. Nó cho mát nhá. Đúng rồi. Thôi đi nào. Đi đây ăn nào. Chậm thôi. Qua đây, đây. Đây, qua đây ngồi nè. Đây, ngồi đây. Ngồi đây nhá. Ngồi đây. Bắt cái này cho Ly nhá. Đúng rồi. Để bà bỏ cái đàn cho Ly nhá. Rồi. Rồi đây cho con nhá. Một cái đàn đẹp
Then
nhỉ?
he gently
Đây, đây,
released
hả?
her and picked up
Có
an
cái này đi ăn
orange.
nhé.
His rough hands
Đi
peeled
ăn
it,
đỏ phải không?
and he handed the first slice to Lily.
Chờ xíu. Mình chờ xíu. Đây.
You eat this, he said. It's a reward for my great guitarist.
Vài miếng nha.
Lily smiled, her eyes crinkling, and
ngon quá
took
nhỉ?
the slice. They sat together, eating the sweet, juicy orange. It was the most memorable lunch of their lives, a mix of sweetness, sweat, and happiness. The door creaked open. Lily, home from school in her uniform, scampered into the house.
Vào đây nha. Được chưa? Đưa cặp đây.
As was her routine, she adeptly shrugged the heavy backpack off her shoulders. Dad smiled, took the backpack, and hung it neatly on the
Vào
hook.
tủ lạnh đi. Được chưa?
Immediately, Lily ran to the refrigerator, stood on her tiptoes to open the door, and took out a carton of fresh milk. Dad, pour me some milk! Dad gently took a glass, pouring the pure white milk for her.
Rồi.
Lily put a straw in and took a deep sip. While his little daughter was refueling, Dad quietly went downstairs to prepare a few things. Perhaps because she was so thirsty, Lily drank a bit too quickly. A white splash of milk spread across the wooden table. Lily startled. Oh no! But she didn't cry. She knew what to do.
Uh-oh.
Quick as a squirrel, Lily ran to get a cleaning cloth and diligently wiped the spill clean.
Uh-oh.
When she was done, she held the milk-soaked cloth and ran to find her dad.
Đi đâu đây?
Dad,
Đi
I
qua đây à?
accidentally spilled the milk. Can you please wash this cloth for me? Lily happily returned to the living room. But just as she sat down, she felt something strange.
Uh-oh.
Achoo! And then achoo! Again. She was sneezing constantly. Perhaps the change in weather had given her a cold. Mindfully, Lily ran to the tissue box, pulled out a few, and wiped her own nose. When she was done, she even carefully threw the dirty tissues into the trash can before wandering into the bedroom. A sudden chill made her climb right onto the bed, seeking warmth from her beloved blanket and curling up into a small ball. A moment later, Dad finished washing the cloth. He came upstairs but didn't see his daughter. "Lily?" he called. There was no answer. He gently pushed open the bedroom door
Lily.
and saw a small lump of blanket, shivering slightly.
Lily,
He walked over
sao vậy?
and softly lifted the blanket.
sao nằm đây?
Lily's face was flushed red,
Sao đây?
her eyes heavy-lidded and weary. The father's
vậy?
heart clenched. He
Bố
was
à?
truly worried.
Vì sao đây? Bố à, có nằm ngủ được không? Bố nằm ngủ hả? Mệt hả? Có mệt à?
You have a fever, he whispered, rushing to find the thermometer.
Để ba xem nào. Ba xem ốm nào. Ba xem nào.
A beep sounded,
Trời ơi.
confirming his fear.
Ốm ở đấy chưa? Nè, ốm ở nè thấy không? Thấy chưa? Đi nằm ngoan nhá. Nào, nằm xuống, nằm xuống. Cứ nằm đi.
Dad hurried to get a cooling fever patch, gently
Ngoan nhé,
placing
bà
it
dán
on
lên
his
đi nhé.
daughter's forehead.
Bà sốt nha. Đây, con nằm xuống đi, con nằm xuống. Đúng rồi. Đó. Rồi con nằm đây. Ngoan nhé. Cái này nó mau hết lắm, thấy chưa? Đây, uống thuốc. Sao đâu, uống thuốc nhé. Rồi nó nằm xuống. Nằm xuống mà lấy cho. Nhé.
Then carefully measured a spoonful of cold and flu syrup.
Lily dậy đi này. Bà mua
There's
thuốc
a
ho
good
Lily.
girl, he soothed.
Lily uống đi,
Drink
uống
some
xíu thôi.
medicine so you can get better soon.
Con bị sao vậy? Ốm à? Đây ba xem nào. Bị sao đây? Sao mà mệt vậy? Sao mà nằm đây? Ừ? Sao nằm đây Lily? Lily dậy đi này. Ba mua thuốc ho cho Lily này. Lily uống đi, uống một xíu thôi. Con ốm à? Ốm hả? Đâu ba xem nào. Lily dậy đi này. Ba mua thuốc ho cho Lily này. Sao được không? Ừ. Siro mật ong đấy. Có cái nào để ba thuốc cho nhé. Đúng rồi. Mau khỏe chưa? Siro này nó không phải ho đấy. Ho cảm đấy. Đúng rồi, giỏi lắm. Đúng rồi. Đi giỏi lắm, đúng rồi. Được rồi ha. Nó nằm đi nào, đây nằm xuống. Nào con xem nào. Đúng rồi đấy. Rồi, ngoan ha. Đúng rồi, đấy.
While Lily drifted off to sleep from exhaustion, Dad did not rest. He quietly went out to the garden, where the orange tree was heavy with fruit. He picked the juiciest oranges, brought them inside, and carefully squeezed a glass of fresh juice. He carried the
Lily.
glass into the room, gently helped Lily sit up, and said, "Drink some orange juice to get your strength
đấy.
back."
Ngon không? Ngồi dậy. Đúng rồi.
The light, sweet taste of the orange soothed Lily's raw throat.
Chậm thôi nhé. Ngon quá hả? Cái cao làm ngon quá hả? Hết chưa? Rồi, đi ba nào. Rồi, ngồi yên này, ngồi yên nhé. À. Giỏi lắm, đúng rồi, đi giỏi lắm. Ngủ ăn nhé. Đây, đúng rồi.
Under the warm morning sunlight, Lily looked like an enthusiastic little farmer. She wore comfy shorts and a t-shirt, a wide-brimmed hat on her head, and carried a cute little basket. She quickly passed the eggplant row, where purple fruits were dangling, but her eyes didn't stop. They were aimed straight at the end of the garden. Lily's target was the apple tree. As soon as she reached the tree, in the blink of an eye, she had nimbly climbed the tree, as quick and flexible as a little squirrel. Lily's sharp eyes quickly found her targets. One hand held firmly onto a branch for support, while her other hand quickly reached out to pick the apples. thud. The ripe red apples kept falling onto the soft grass blanket below. Lily moved skillfully from one branch to another, not missing any delicious fruit within her reach. After a period of effective battle, when she saw there was a good amount of loot, Lily jumped lightly to the ground. She dusted off her hands, happily picked up the plumpest apple she had just picked, brought it to her mouth, and took a big bite. Lily sat right down at the base of the tree, savoring her reward, her eyes shining with ultimate pride and satisfaction. The sweet, refreshing taste of the apple spread, like a well-deserved prize for her hard work. After eating, Lily started gathering. She carefully picked up each apple and placed it in the basket. Soon, the basket was full and heavy. Lily put her hat back on, then used both hands to heave the heavy basket up, and joyfully walked out of the garden to go home. As soon as she saw her dad, joy sparkled in Lily's eyes. She ran over, chirping in her clear voice, "Dad, I'm home from school." Her dad smiled gently, let go of the broom, and opened his arms wide to embrace his little daughter. Once inside, Lily immediately showed herself to be a very independent little girl. With her tiny but skillful fingers, she took off her freshly creased uniform and changed into comfortable home clothes.
Oh.
A bright yellow t-shirt and cute striped shorts.
Uh-huh.
Not only that, she also proved to be very responsible. Lily carefully gathered her uniform, held it snugly in her arms, and trotted over to the washing machine. With a very serious expression, she neatly placed the clothes inside the drum, as if completing a very important task. When her mission was accomplished, Lily excitedly put on her favorite straw hat and ran out to the yard, where her dad was still waiting. Seeing his energetic little daughter, an idea suddenly sparked in his mind. He suggested, "Shall we go to the garden to pick vegetables for lunch?" Lily's eyes lit up, and she nodded eagerly in agreement. Her dad lifted her into his arms, and together they went to the garden behind the house. Under the golden sunlight, the two of them began their harvest. Dad picked a large, fresh loofah, which Lily delightedly took and nibbled a small piece of.
Trái nó hơi già quá ha. Nhìn nó non non nhỉ. Bỏ vào đây con, bỏ vào đây ha. Nhá kém nha. Đây ha.
Together, they picked plump eggplants, lush green beans, and vibrant red tomatoes.
Ôi giời ơi, ngon quá hả? Này được không? Bỏ đây. Các bạn ha, đi nè. Nó có thêm này, cà chua này, đậm nhá. Rồi, giờ đi về ha.
Soon, their basket was overflowing with fresh vegetables.
Đây thôi. Đi về nhanh nấu ăn nào, đi nhanh lên. Rồi, nhanh lên con. Bà đi sau đây.
Back inside, while her dad was busy preparing the freshly picked vegetables for lunch, Lily obediently sat down at her study table. She put on her small glasses, sat in front of her tablet, and took the opportunity to study online.
Hôm nay Ly của mình ở nhà đang học bài nên mình sẽ nấu món ăn cho Lily nhé. Bây giờ mình có khoai này, cà rốt này, tí đậu này. Bây giờ mình hấp cho Lily nhé.
Lily focused on her studies, like a real student.
Rất giỏi, chỉ là hơi chậm hơn nhóm 1 một chút xíu thôi.
Occasionally, she would glance towards the kitchen, curiously observing her dad's cooking. In the cozy kitchen, Lily's dad was busy preparing the fresh vegetables they had just picked. But suddenly, he frowned, looking at the empty spice jar. Oh no, we're out of salt! Lily, who was studying, immediately left her desk when she heard her dad. She ran to his side, her big round eyes full of curiosity. Her dad bent down and gently asked, "My sweet Lily, can you help me go to the supermarket and buy a bag of salt?" With a determined look, Lily nodded enthusiastically. Her dad smiled, carefully put money into Lily's small purse, and kindly reminded her, "Be careful, I'll be waiting for you."
Bye-bye.
Lily eagerly ran out to the backyard. There, her close friend, Sam the pig, was relaxing on the lush green grass.
Hi.
"Sam, let's go to the supermarket," Lily called out. Sam, as if understanding, stood up. Lily nimbly climbed onto Sam's back, holding on tightly. Sam began to carry Lily along the familiar village path, the sound of his trotting feet mingling with Lily's giggles, creating a truly lovely and simple scene.
Ahem.
At the supermarket, faced with a colorful world of sparkling goods, especially the candy aisle, Lily wanted to buy everything. Her eyes were glued to the tempting packages of sweets, imagining their sweet taste. But then, her dad's words echoed in her ears. "Please buy a bag of salt for me."
Mua cho bà ấy gia vị rồi về mình ăn cơm nhé. Mua cho bà ấy gia vị rồi về mình ăn cơm nhé. Chưa?
Lily snapped back to reality, breaking free from the allure of snacks and quickly heading to the spice aisle. A moment later, she found the pure white bag of salt her dad needed. After paying at the counter, Lily hurried back to where Sam was waiting. "Let's go home, Sam," Lily chirped happily. Sam carried Lily back again, along the familiar road, bringing with them the bag of salt joy of a completed mission. Upon arriving home, Lily proudly handed the salt to her dad. Dad, I bought the salt! Her dad smiled warmly, patting his little daughter's head in thanks,
Vừa kịp lúc cơm chín luôn đấy.
and then immediately used the salt to finish the dish he was cooking.
Này là gia vị rồi. Phải có thêm tí gia vị nó mới ngon được ha. Đấy.
Soon, the warm, sweet aroma of the cooked lunch filled the house, awakening Lily's hungry stomach. With all his care and love, her dad carefully arranged the food on plates. The carrot slices glowed with the color of the sun, and the green beans were as vibrant as if they had just been picked. Everything was the fruit of their small garden, a nutritious gift from a dad to his daughter's health.
Rồi, rồi. Thôi, đi ra ăn ha. Ba chuẩn bị đồ ăn cho lợn này nhé. Đồ ăn cho Yển ha. Đồ ăn gì ba chuẩn bị sẵn rồi đấy. Bây giờ mình mang cho Yển ăn ha. Chờ ba tí nha. Rồi. Rồi, đi đây nè. Cơm ha, cơm ha. Rồi, đi đây. Ba tí nha.
The two of them sat at the table, the space filled only with peace and the aroma of food.
Thế rồi.
The lunch wasn't fancy, but it was the happiest of meals.
Đây này, hôm nay có cà rốt này, có đậu, có khoai lang nhá. Đây, ăn cà rốt trước ha. Hôm nay mình ăn cà rốt trước nha.
Lily held her small fork, taking each bite with relish, her cheeks puffing out adorably.
Dinh dưỡng cho Ly nhá. Wow, ngon quá. Tuyệt vời.
In the sweetness of the vegetables, she could almost taste the sun, the earth, and the effort she herself had contributed. And above all, it was the taste of the love her dad had seasoned every dish with.
Đây. Đó. Bây giờ bạn hãy động Ly nhé. Đấy. Rồi bạn đậu đi. Không thử đúng rồi. Ta biết là nó ngon hay không chứ. Đây.
Her dad didn't eat much. He just quietly watched his little daughter eat with a good appetite, his eyes filled with a simple yet complete happiness.
Đây, chị ba này không? Đây. Thấy không? Đây, đi đây. Cà rốt hả? À, có vẻ nhưng mà Ly cũng rất thích động người. Mình lấy cà rốt Ly nhá. Đây. Thì muốn cà rốt ha. Rồi thì lấy cái Ly nhá. Đây. Đó. Wow. Đúng rồi. Giỏi quá. Thêm cà rốt ha. Đây. Cái bài mệt ha. Thêm cà rốt cho con nhá. Mạnh lên con, đúng rồi, mạnh lên. Ý giời ơi. Ý dạ, ý dạ. Ý dạ. Đây tôi chỉnh lại cái này Ly. Đây, đây đây đâu. Đây. Đấy, đây gọn gọn ha. Cắm mạnh lên xem, cắm mạnh dưới nào. Cắm mạnh dưới chứ. Đây cần phải cắm mạnh này. Đúng rồi. Thì phải đốt ha. Mình ăn từng món một nhỉ. Đúng rồi.
That afternoon, the golden sunlight was pouring like honey over the garden. Inside, Lily was sitting on her familiar beanbag chair, but her mind couldn't focus on her toys. Through the window, she saw her dad diligently trimming the overgrown branches. Seeing the beads of sweat on his forehead, Lily felt that she couldn't sit still any longer. Lily ran quickly out into the yard. After watching her dad for a while, she ran into the house. Got a bottle of cool water and solemnly brought it out to him.
Đâu Ly? Ủa? Đi Ly. Vào đây nào. Đây nè. Vào đây cho bác hả? Làm Ly nha. Uống không? Vào đây cho uống.
Her dad smiled and stroked his thoughtful daughter's head. But instead of drinking it himself, he opened the cap and kindly offered the first drink to Lily.
Đúng rồi. Cháo bản áo này nha. Sát luôn, sát luôn. Đó, này, sát luôn. Sao uống nè ha. Chỉ cho bà xíu nha, được không? Rảnh không?
After their break, the main task began, cleaning up the giant pile of leaves. Lily looked at the red wheelbarrow. To her, it looked like a red giant. Without a moment's hesitation, Lily got right to work. She copied her dad, using her tiny hands to gather handfuls of dry leaves, creating a delightful rustling sound. She even carefully picked up the small twigs, though they were a bit awkward to hold. Each time she gathered a small pile, she had to stand on her tiptoes, stretching as tall as she could to drop them into the bed of the red wheelbarrow, which was almost half her height. Her small hands moved nimbly, working without rest, her little face showing clear focus and seriousness, as if this were an incredibly important mission. Occasionally, her dad would stop his work, smile, and gently pat Lily's hatted head as a silent word of encouragement. My daughter is doing a great job. It was moments like these that made Lily work even more enthusiastically. he saw his daughter was getting tired, her hands slowing down, he immediately took a break. He tenderly gave the water bottle to Lily, then gently used a cloth to wipe the water droplets from her chin and the sweat from her forehead. Re-energized by her dad's care, Lily continued her work. When the wheelbarrow was piled high, Lily joyfully climbed on top, turning the pile of leaves into a soft throne.
Rồi lên Lily. Lily. Lên nào.
She sat perched on it like a ship's captain, conquering the high seas. Her dad laughed and began to push the leaf boat forward. Lily sat up high, happily watching the garden from a whole new perspective, feeling like the queen of this whole garden.
Đi kìa. Đi à Ly. Mang đây, đúng là mang đây. Bỏ cái đi. Đúng rồi. Đi về nào.
After a hard afternoon's work, the father and daughter returned to their small wooden house.
Rồi, đi về đi đây. Về để đi ăn nhé.
To reward his daughter for her diligence, her dad had prepared a special light meal. Lily sat properly in a wooden chair, a plate of warm, fragrant yellow food in front of her. She held her fork and leisurely enjoyed the sweet reward of her labor.
Trời ơi. Đấy, bà có làm mấy miếng to cho Ly kìa. À. Ăn từ từ thôi nhé.
All her fatigue seemed to vanish, leaving only a sense of pride and the warmth of her dad's love surrounding her.
Cắn đi con, cắn ăn đi con. Đúng rồi đấy. Đúng rồi. À, thói quen của Ly là ăn là cất đi đúng không? Để dành đúng không? Ly thích để dành. Cái mặt hay quá. Cái mặt nghiêng nghiêng hay quá. Xong chưa? Thôi bỏ cho ba nào. Lily chào mọi người nào. Lily chào đi nào. Lily, chào. Bye bye.
After the bathroom incident, it was time for breakfast. Dad prepared a meal for them both, a plate of hot noodles for himself and a juicy red apple, already sliced for Lily. Hearing her dad's call, Lily trotted into the kitchen and, acting like a grown-up, helped carry her plate of apples to the living room.
Lên mì vào.
While her dad ate his noodles, Lily sat obediently eating her apple, but her big, round eyes kept glancing at her dad's fragrant noodles. As if understanding his little daughter's desire, her dad smiled, picked up some noodles with his chopsticks, carefully blew on them to cool them down, and gently fed them to Lily. She accepted it joyfully, her face beaming with happiness.
Ăn mì ngon đấy. Cho đi nữa nhé. Ra bên này nhé. Này. Mì ngon đi. Đúng rồi.
This tender gesture showed the incredibly thoughtful love and care her dad had for Lily, transcending any species difference.
Ngon không? À, mì ra hả? Cái này nhá. Này. Ăn kiểu gì ấy? Như vậy sao được Ly?
The meal ended, and the clock showed it was time for work. Dad quickly put on his coat, but didn't forget to stop,
Lên tàu tí dọn này nhanh
gently
nhé.
pat Lily on the head, and say goodbye.
Đi đi, nhà ngoan nhé.
Yummy.
As soon as the door closed, Lily immediately began the work of a true homemaker. She seriously cleared the table, put all the leftover food in the trash, and then carried the 2 plates, though a bit heavy for her small frame, to the kitchen sink. She even carefully turned on the faucet to rinse the dishes. Finished with her work, Lily rewarded herself by watching her favorite cartoon in the living room. Engrossed in the funny images on TV, she absent-mindedly forgot she hadn't turned off the water in the kitchen. A while later, when the sound of running water grew louder and a cold stream had reached the living room floor, Lily was startled into realization.
Oh my god.
Panicked, she rushed to find a towel. With all her might, she diligently wiped up the puddle on the floor, trying to fix the consequence of her forgetfulness. After the floor was dry, Lily glanced around and quickly threw the wet towel in the trash. A cunning act as if disposing of the evidence so her dad wouldn't find out. Having dealt with the scene, Lily realized her clothes were wet. She ran to find a dry outfit. After some searching, she found a pretty pink dress. Putting it on was no small challenge. She struggled for a long time to get her head through the collar before successfully wearing it. Looking beautiful in her new dress, she continued her unfinished work. She gathered her dirty clothes, put them in a basket, and carried it to the washing machine.
Uh-oh.
With practiced motions, Lily put everything into the machine, closed the door, climbed up, and confidently pressed the start button.
Uh-oh.
In the cool house, while playing alone, Lily happened to look out the window. Under the harsh summer sun, she saw the familiar figure of her dad toiling in the garden. Beads of sweat dotted his forehead, and his digging motions had slowed with fatigue. Seeing this, a special sense of empathy seemed to arise within her. Without a moment's hesitation, Lily rushed into the kitchen. With her small hands, she managed to open the refrigerator, took out a bottle of cold water, and carefully closed the door. With the water bottle in hand, Lily scampered outside, crossing the green lawn to her dad's side.
Rồi Lily, đi đâu đây? Lily con lấy cho bà hả? Đi quay con. Đây nhá.
Seeing his little daughter bring him water, the father was incredibly surprised and moved. He smiled, patted Lily's head, and took the bottle, drinking a long, refreshing gulp. In his thirst, he didn't forget the friends around him. He tilted the bottle for the nearby goat and offered some to Lily. The image of the three of them sharing a cool drink under a tree created an incredibly simple and warm moment.
Đi về đi, Nay làm mệt rồi, đi về đi. Đi nào. Đi về nào. Xuống đi. Đi rồi. Ra đây.
In a small, cozy home, a man was sitting at work when he suddenly felt a sharp, cramping pain in his stomach. He rushed to the bathroom to take care of business. When everything was settled, he reached for the toilet paper and froze. It was empty. Trapped in this predicament, he had no choice but to call for help. Lily, help Dad! Please get me a roll of toilet paper. Hearing her father's call, Lily, who was playing in the living room, quickly responded. She was eager to help. After rummaging around for a moment, Lily found a shiny object. Thinking this was what her dad needed, she trotted to the bathroom door, proudly presenting a mirror. The father, peering through the crack in the door, didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Not this, sweetie. I needs paper." Lily scratched her head, not quite understanding. She ran off to search again. This time, she opened the refrigerator and took out a carton of fresh milk. The father sighed, feeling both helpless and amused by his little daughter's innocence. After her dad explained it one more time, Lily finally understood. She found a brand new roll of toilet paper. Delighted that she had found the right thing, she hurried toward the bathroom. But being so small, she couldn't control the round, rolling object. The white paper streamed out behind her, spilling across the floor from the living room all the way to the bathroom, looking like a little river of paper. When the father opened the door, he was stunned by the paper disaster. But seeing the guilty and bewildered look on Lily's face, he couldn't bring himself to scold her. The two of them sat down together and painstakingly rolled the paper back up. It was a meticulous job, but it turned a frustrating incident into a warm memory. After they finished cleaning up, to reward Lily for her efforts, her father gave her a carton of milk. Lily happily took the milk while her dad affectionately patted her head. Although it was a bit of a hassle, Lily's love and innocence made every trouble feel sweet. After resting, Dad decided to take Lily to the fields. He brought out his motorbike and carefully placed Lily in the front basket, ensuring she had a safe and comfortable spot. The engine roared to life, and the two began their little adventure, leaving their yard and heading down the village road. They passed green rice paddies and entered a vast cornfield where the stalks grew taller than a person. Stopping the bike at the edge of the field, Dad lifted Lily to the ground. He walked between the rows of corn, chose the freshest cob, peeled back the green husk to reveal rows of shiny, plump, golden kernels, and gave it to Lily.
Ăn không? Ăn cái này nhé. Ăn cái này nhé. Nhé. Được không? Để đi bên trái mang về nhé. Nhé. Bóc hẳn nhưng mà có bóc. Đây nhé. Thì bên trái nó hơn nhé.
She happily accepted the gift from nature, then trotted after her dad, picking up the cobs he had just harvested and carefully placing them in the bike's basket.
Cây đổ lên. Đi Lia, đi nào. Cầm con đi. Cầm con đi. Đây cầm. Đúng rồi, cầm lấy. Đi đây đi con, ăn xe đi. Đây rồi, được rồi. Đi nè. Ở đây nha. Đây nha, ở bên kia nha. Đi về đi. Đi tiếp nhé. Nè, bắp đi nè. Đi vào nhà đi con. Đi vào nhà nào. Đây đi. Bên này.
When they returned from the field, Lily put on a pair of glasses and sat properly in front of a laptop, looking like a true scholar. Her eyes focused on the moving images. The house was peaceful.
Năm nay hơn 70 tuổi mà chưa gặp cái trường hợp nào mà như thế này. Mà tôi cũng phải phục các tay anh công an. Chứ phải tôi đấm cho bên này.
That peace was soon broken when Dad returned from the fields, his body exhausted after a hard day's work. He could barely stand, his steps were heavy, and his face was pale. He collapsed onto the bed, completely drained of strength. Seeing this unusual scene, Lily immediately stopped her studies. Her small face showed clear confusion and worry. She gently climbed onto the bed and, with all her might, carefully pulled the blanket over her dad, as if to comfort and soothe him. A moment later, noticing her dad showing signs of discomfort, his face contorting from stomach cramps, a loved one's intuition told Lily something was wrong. Quick as a flash, she scrambled off the bed, ran to the kitchen, and brought back a large basin. She placed it beside the bed just in time for her dad to vomit violently. Afterward, when she placed her hand on his forehead, Lily felt an intense heat. Dad had a very high fever. Without hesitation, Lily grabbed her small basket and dashed out of the house, running at full speed to a nearby pharmacy.
Hi Lily. Mua gì đó Lily?
There, she used all of her body language to describe her father's condition. The pharmacist, after a moment of surprise, understood the situation and gave her a box of fever-reducing patches, stating the price was $3. Lily froze. She looked at her empty basket, then at the pharmacist, her eyes full of helplessness. She had left in such a hurry that she forgot to bring money.
Có chuyện gì vậy Lily?
With utmost desperation, Lily clasped her hands together, her pleading eyes fixed on the pharmacist. Perhaps her filial piety and intelligence moved the shopkeeper's heart. They smiled, waved their hand, and gave Lily the medicine without taking any money.
Không cần làm vậy đâu Lily, tôi sẽ cho bạn nợ lần này.
In response to this immense kindness, Lily performed a very solemn gesture. She clasped her hands together and bowed deeply to say thank you.
Thôi được rồi, bạn cầm lấy nó đi Lily.
Holding the precious medicine, Lily rushed home. She climbed onto the bed, carefully tore open the box with her teeth and hands.
Lily, con mua gì đây? Gì vậy hả? Này gì đấy? À. Đây hả Linh?
Peeled off the thin film and gently applied the cool patch to her father's burning forehead. After completing her duty as a nurse, Lily didn't leave. She lay down obediently beside him, one hand resting on her dad as if to keep watch. The exhaustion from the long day and the recent race finally caught up with her. Her eyes slowly closed, and she fell asleep right next to the father she loved so dearly.
One beautiful morning, the house was quiet and cozy. Lily was lounging on the sofa, eyes glued to her favorite TV show. But amidst those relaxing moments, a thought popped into her head. Dad must be working so hard right now, she told herself. Her love for her dad urged her to do something special for him. No sooner thought than done. Lily scurried into the kitchen. Luckily, there was a basket of fresh vegetables Dad had just bought on the table. Looking like a true pro, Lily started prepping. Her small but skillful hands picked up the green beans, snapped them neatly, and removed the strings just as well as any adult. Once done, she carefully put everything into the pot. Added just enough water and turned on the stove. Lily stood there patiently, her eyes sparkling as she watched the steam rise. A few minutes later, the gentle aroma of boiled veggies filled the air. Lily scooped them into her familiar little basket and toddled out to the garden.
Dad.
Seeing his little girl approaching, Dad paused his work, looking surprised. Lily happily held out the basket, showing off her hard work. He took the food and carefully checked each piece. He nodded in satisfaction. Ah, it's perfectly cooked. That sentence was the best reward for Chef Lily. She knew exactly when the veggies were ready, a sign of maturity that would warm anyone's heart. As they ate in the garden, an uninvited guest appeared. It was Bebe, the little goat. Smelling the food, Bebe trotted over. Instead of chasing him away, Lily happily shared her portion. Under the cool shade of the trees, the three of them, Dad, Lily, and Bebe, enjoyed the simple vegetable meal together. The story begins on a day Lily was home alone. Like a pro basketball player, Lily made perfect shots into the hoop, making anyone watching amazed. After running a few laps around the house and scoring some spectacular points, Lily started to feel tired. She climbed onto her comfy beanbag chair to rest and recharge.
Hai Ly, nè, tao có cái này cho Ly nè.
Just then, Dad came home from work.
Làm gì đây?
In his hand was a wonderful gift for his little girl.
Cho bóng à?
Fresh, delicious pears.
Nè, ra đây chơi. Ra đây. Ui, thú quá.
However,
thú quá.
after her intense workout, Dad
Tắm
noticed
đi
his
nhé. Tắm xong
athlete
rồi ba làm nước
was
cái này
dripping
đi uống
with
nhé.
sweat
Nè.
and
Bữa
starting
giờ
to
đi
smell a
mua
bit
nước
stinky.
ép nè. Bây giờ ba mua cho Ly nè. Làm nước ép cho Ly uống nhé. Được không? Ở đây nhá. Cắt này đi. Cắt để cho ăn lên này ba mà. Đi, đi. Bên đây này.
So Dad decided to whisk Lily off for a bath immediately.
A few moments later.
Rồi, chờ tí nhá. Đây. Cho tay đi con.
After a good scrub,
Rồi đấy.
Lily returned looking fresh, clean, and wearing a super cute pink outfit.
Đây một sắp mùa đông rồi nhá, mặc cho nó ấm nhá. Đó. Quần này. Mùa đông lạnh. Thông thả của Thỉnh nhỉ. Đến đây. Chắc rồi. Đứng lại thế này, đứng lại thế này.
Now that she was squeaky clean, Dad asked Lily to help make juice.
Ok. Ôm nào, ôm nào. Đúng rồi. Thôi đi pha nước uống nhé. Đi làm nước uống nhé. Ha. Đi làm nước uống nhé. Đi. Đi đây làm nước uống nào. Vào đây làm cái ly nước uống nhé.
Lily proved to be a great assistant.
Cái lau này các bạn ạ. Giỏi lắm đi ba. Đây. Rồi con bỏ kia đi.
While Dad peeled the pears, Lily quickly picked up the peels and tidied them into the trash bin neatly.
Bỏ cái đổ đi. Rồi con bỏ kia luôn đi. Bỏ đi con. Bỏ luôn. Giỏi lắm. Đây cho Ly miếng này. Rồi cái này bỏ đây nhé. Rồi con bỏ đi. Đúng rồi. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Bỏ kia đi. Lau đi con. Lau đi. Lau. Lau. Đúng rồi. Rồi, đi giải lắm. Rồi, bắt đầu nhé. Rồi, đi qua đây. Đây, đứng xuống, đứng. Đây. Đấy, đúng rồi, biết làm gì chưa? Biết làm gì chưa?
When it was time to juice, Lily personally picked up the pear slices Dad had cut and put them into the slow juicer.
Bỏ tiếp lên đấy con.
She worked carefully and skillfully,
Chưa được đâu,
just
nữa
like
đi.
an
Đây,
adult.
nữa đi. Một cái nữa thôi, một cái đấy nữa thôi. Rồi. Này. Tàn út này. Đây bên đây này, bên đây này. Đây này. Đây đi này, đó.
Her eyes watched intently as the cool juice flowed into the pitcher, her face full of excitement, waiting for the result.
Rồi bỏ nữa đi, bỏ thêm nữa đi. Nữa. Nữa đi. Nữa đi con, nữa đi. Rồi nữa đi. Rồi cái này để bà cắt cho Ly ăn nhé. Đây bà cắt bỏ miếng cho Ly nhé. an toàn lắm, thấy chưa? Rồi, đi, giờ qua đây mình làm cái này nhé.
To reward Lily's hard work, Dad cut a separate plate of fresh pears just for her.
Đi bỏ trong kia nhé. Cứ bỏ đây đi. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Bỏ đây nữa. Đúng rồi. Đây nữa. Bỏ đây nữa.
The little party began. Lily confidently used a fork to eat the fruit, enjoying every bite.
Ăn đi, vào lấy nước nha. Ăn đi. Ăn xong đi, ăn đi. Đúng rồi. Ăn xong đi rồi bà lấy cho. Đúng rồi đấy. Đi ăn xong đi và lấy nước cho Ly nhé. Con ăn đi. Uống nước trước hả? Rồi, đi vào đây.
Finally came the most awaited moment, tasting the juice. Lily took a long sip through the straw, her face lighting up with delight, and she didn't forget to exclaim, "Yummy," to thank Dad.
Ngon he. Ngon he. Ngon quá Ly ha. Đấy. Đã nhỉ.
It was a happy day for Lily, going from energetic exercise to warm, sweet moments with Dad and delicious treats. I'll work for a bit and come back. Dad's shadow disappeared behind the gate. The house suddenly felt quiet. Lily was home alone, looking around and feeling bored. She started to miss Dad, thinking that working out in the sun must make him very tired and hungry. Unable to just sit and wait, Lily decided to do something. She scurried to the corner of the room, opened her piggy bank, and took out a coin she had saved. Looking determined, she put on her small bag and cute hat. Pulled her tiny wagon and started her journey away from home. Lily's first stop was a fruit store by the road.
Hi. Lily muốn mua cái gì? Lily lựa đi.
Amidst many kinds of fruit, Lily quickly picked out the reddest apples
Oh.
and some fresh tangerines. Not only was she good at choosing, but she also surprised and delighted everyone by paying the seller politely and smartly. With the food bought, Lily eagerly pulled her wagon to find Dad. The road to the field was quite long, and the sun was getting high. After a while, Lily felt tired. She stopped by the roadside to rest and took the opportunity to quality check the goods by tasting the freshness of the fruit to regain her strength.
yummy.
After a short break, thinking of Dad waiting, Lily lifted her spirits and continued pulling her wagon. Finally, she arrived. Her effort paid off. From afar, Lily saw Dad working hard. When he saw Lily appear with her wagon, Dad was completely surprised, his eyes wide. Oh, look, Lily, why are you here? And where did this apple come from?
Cảm ơn Ly nhé. Kiếm cái nào ngồi ăn nhé.
Answering Dad's surprise, Lily gently held out the apple as a gift to give him energy.
Ui trời. Đang mệt mà có cái này ăn ngon quá hả Ly ha.
In the middle of the vast
Này,
field,
cắn cho mỗi người
father
miếng
and daughter shared a warm snack.
nha.
Dad broke the apple in two, giving Lily half and keeping half for himself.
Đi ăn đi. Mỗi người một quả nhé.
They ate deliciously, enjoying the sweetness of the fruit and the joy of
Ly
being
nó mua đây đi.
together.
Tiền nó mua cho ba đây.
Dad smiled, thanking his little
Cảm ơn Ly
daughter
nhé.
for her sweet care.
Giỏi quá. Táo chín ngon quá Ly ạ. Xong chưa? Ly ngồi đây ăn nhé, chờ ba tí nhé. Ly ngồi đấy chờ ba tí.
Recharged by
Lúc này
Lily,
tí nhé.
Dad quickly went back to finish his work, while Lily sat obediently resting nearby. A beautiful morning began just like any other in the cozy little house. Sunlight streamed through the window, waking Dad up. However, today the atmosphere felt a little different. Dad seemed more lethargic than usual.
Ly.
When Dad stepped into the bathroom to get ready, Lily was already there.
Rồi đừng hót cho ba nè. Xong chưa đừng hót cho ba cầm mỏi nè.
Though small, she is an incredibly sensible little girl.
Rồi đây, đây mà.
Seeing that Dad was moving slowly, Lily nimbly helped him put his toothbrush away in the cup, then stood on her tiptoes to turn off the faucet.
Mời cho ba nè.
These tiny actions showed the immense care Lily had for her dad.
Thôi đi lên nhà nè. Đi nè.
After finishing up, both of them moved to the living room.
Đây mà làm đồ ăn đi nhé.
Dad sighed softly and said, "I'm feeling a bit tired today, so I woke up a little later than usual, Lily." She sat obediently on her chair, holding a box of milk with both hands and drinking happily, her round eyes following Dad's busy silhouette in the kitchen. While waiting for Dad to prepare breakfast, Lily didn't fuss or make demands. Before long, a hot breakfast was ready. Dad brought the food out, smiled, patted Lily's head, and wished her a good meal.
Rồi đi ăn đi nhé, để ba dọn cái ghế ra bên kia nhé, thấy chưa?
While Lily was focused on enjoying her breakfast, Dad took the opportunity to tidy up the house. Suddenly, as he bent down, a sharp pain shot down his spine, forcing him to stop, his face wincing in agony. He braced his hand against his back and struggled to move over to the sofa to lie down and rest. Lily, with her amazing, sensitive instincts, immediately realized something was wrong. She put down her fork, her eyes filled with worry as she looked at Dad, as if asking, "Dad, are you okay?" Without hesitating, Lily quickly ran to find the pain relief patches Dad usually used, then toddled over to bring them to where he was resting on the sofa.
Ôi, qua xem nào, đâu? Cái gì đây? À, cái bán lưng dán lưng bữa bà mua, đúng rồi. Tôi quên mất. Ôi trời. Ủa, cái này sao có cái này nhỉ? Đây hả? À. Cả cái này dán vào lưng hả? Ừ. Bỏ đây nhé. Đây đi.
Dad looked at Lily deeply touched and asked, "Lily, could you help me hold my shirt up?" Lily's small hands gently grasped the hem of Dad's shirt, pulling it up high and holding it tight so Dad could apply the patch to the painful spot. Under Dad's guidance, the little monkey performed the task skillfully and with high concentration. just like a real nurse. Once the patch was securely on Dad's back, she ran to get a bottle of cool water from the fridge for him to drink and regain his strength.
Trời ơi, đi lấy nước cho ba luôn hả? Con mở cho ba đi, mở đi. Mở sao? À, đúng rồi đấy, nha. Đây tay còn bỏ tay đây. Đấy. Nó mở ra.
Seeing that Dad was in less pain, Lily finally felt reassured. The trip was a brilliant success. They brought home a big bag of pancake mix, promising a filling breakfast.
Dạ vâng. Đi vào nhà đi, vào nhà đi.
Back home, the atmosphere became lively. Dad declared loudly, "Today, Dad and Lily will show off our skills making pancakes."
Đây ba, đưa mũ này. Mũ này. À. Túi đây. Rồi, bây giờ. Để đây nhé. Đi ra đi. Đây đi. Chào mọi người nhé. Bây giờ mình làm bánh Lily ăn nhé. Nè, bây giờ làm bánh Lily nhé.
Dad cut open the bag of flour, and the aroma of wheat filled the air. Besides the flour, the essential ingredient was fresh chicken eggs.
Ít rưỡi thôi. Đây này. Đó, ít bột Lily nhé. Lấy kia đi, lấy cái kia. Đúng rồi. Đấy lên. Đúng rồi. Đây đi. Đây này. Trứng này. Thấy chưa?
Then came the tricky part, cracking the eggs. Dad gently guided Lily on how to hold the egg and tap it lightly against the side of the bowl. Lily opened her big round eyes, watching Dad's every move intently, then tentatively reached out her tiny hands to try. After the eggs and flour were in the bowl, Lily held the whisk, coordinating rhythmically with Dad to mix the batter.
Đánh bột đi, trứng cho nó đều như Linh nhé.
Watching his little daughter working passionately, Dad laughed and praised her. Wow, Lily really is a professional baker.
Đây đứng lại. Đây nhé. Đây, đứng lại. Đó, đây cầm đây. Đúng rồi. Bột ngon nữa đi em. Rồi. Giờ đầu bánh cho Ly nha, em xem nhé. Từ từ bỏ cái này ở đây ha. Đây nè. Đó. Chà, quên nóng tí ha.
The stove was hot, and Dad began to ladle scoops of smooth white batter into the pan.
Môi là một ô nha.
A cheerful sizzling sound rang out, and the round cakes began to take shape.
Nè đi, cầm đấy. Cầm đấy, đúng rồi. Đó, thấy chưa? Đó. Rồi. Đây lại nha. Wow. Để tí ha. 5 phút rồi, mấy phút rồi được cái liền. 1-2 phút thôi nhé. Này nhanh lắm. Nó nở nhanh lắm. Nó bốc lên giờ đấy nhé. Wow.
Just a few minutes
Mm,
later,
thơm quá, để
under
thử.
the heat, the pancakes puffed up, turning a golden brown that looked incredibly appetizing and spreading a delicious aroma throughout the kitchen. Dad skillfully flipped the pancakes, then lifted the golden brown cakes onto a
Từ từ nhé.
plate.
Đúng rồi. Rồi, để bà tắt bếp nhé. Tự đóng.
Lily stood by, her eyes sparkling with excitement, her stomach rumbling louder than ever.
Đẹp chưa này? Đấy. Rồi, đi này.
Finally, the most awaited moment arrived. Dad and daughter sat at the table, enjoying the hot pancakes made by their own hands. Lily took a bite of the soft, fluffy cake. The rich taste of eggs and milk melted in her mouth, making her look incredibly delighted.
Ngon ha. Ngon Ly hả? Thì mình làm ra đấy nha. Tại sao ba cho lại tìm lại đi nhé. Được chưa? Ha. Ngon đấy nhỉ. Đấy, trời ơi. Một trứng đấy. Ngon quá ha.
The story begins on a beautiful day. Lily was sitting neatly at her desk, her right hand holding a pencil, her eyes glued to the pages with a look of extreme concentration. However, the serious study session didn't last long. Deep in her research, an unpleasant smell was creeping into her study space, and there it was. Right in the corner of the room lay a pile of dirty clothes scattered about. Instead of running to tattle or waiting for Dad to come home and solve it, Lily decided to roll up her sleeves and handle the mess herself. Here, Lily's professional performance truly began. She filled a large basin with water. Then unhesitatingly dipped her hands into the cold water. Her small but skillful hands worked hard, rubbing and scrubbing each shirt and blanket to remove all the soapsuds and stains. Looking at the way Lily worked, anyone would have to admit she did laundry remarkably well, rivaling any human. Everything seemed to be under her control. After a while of wrestling with the pile of clothes, the laundry was finally done. But Lily didn't leave the soaking wet clothes in the basin. She continued to carry the basket out to the sun-drenched yard to dry them. Each shirt was shaken out straight and draped carefully over the chairs. But that wasn't all. Lily's meticulousness was shown when she didn't leave right away. She returned to the scene, tidied up the laundry tools, and restored order to the house. Lily felt incredibly refreshed. She excitedly ran into the room to find Dad, surely to show off her glorious achievement today and await some well-deserved praise. A new day began at Lily's small house. Dad called her up early, his voice sleepy but full of care. "Lily, have you brushed your teeth and washed your face yet?" Lily responded quickly, signaling she was ready for the new day. Hungry bellies urged Dad and daughter to find breakfast. Both excitedly headed for the fridge. But when the door opened, disappointment struck. The fridge was empty. There was no food left, not even Lily's favorite box of milk. The situation became tense when Dad rummaged through his pockets and sighed. "Oh no, Lily, I'm out of money for groceries. What should we do now?"
Ly ơi, bán tiền của rồi Ly. Sao giờ? Sao đi? Sao? Lấy tiền là sao giờ? Hả? Sao giờ? Đi tiền đâu?
Seeing the worried look on Dad's face, Lily looked confused. She scratched her head, bewildered about how to solve this economic problem. But Lily is a very smart monkey. After a moment of thought, she remembered she had a secret stash. Lily quickly ran to get the savings from her box and gave them to Dad. This sensible action left Dad completely surprised and touched.
À, trời ơi, giỏi quá. Thôi ba lấy tiền ba đi mua cho Ly nhé. Được không? Ha. Cho Ly theo ba chơi nhé.
With money in hand, Dad excitedly said, "Come on, let's go buy ingredients to make cakes."
Lấy mũ đi con, lấy mũ đi. Vào đây đâu, vào đây. Để bà cắt tiền ha. Xem này. Mũ hay ấy, mũ hay ấy Ly. Hả?
Dad and daughter got ready to head out on the motorbike.
Tiền đây nhé. Nè, thấy chưa?
Safety first, Dad took a tiny helmet that fit perfectly and put it on Lily's head. Lily stood still obediently, so Dad could buckle the strap carefully. Then she expertly climbed onto the front of the bike, poised like a professional biker, ready to hit the streets with Dad.
Finally, when the car was complete, Lily proudly sat in the driver's seat, ready for new adventures. The pink car quickly became Lily's indispensable companion. She drove it all over the yard, carrying her things and always remembering to wear her cute little helmet.
Oh,
During one of her rides, the car's wheel unfortunately got stuck. But for an independent monkey like Lily, that wasn't a big problem. She calmly went into the house.
uh-oh.
Found a screwdriver in the toolbox and came back, concentrating on fixing the wheel with expertise. After the car was working again, Lily even carefully used a brush to sweep away the leaves that had fallen inside. She took care of her gift with great care and responsibility.
Đi đâu Ly? Hả? Đi đâu qua? Ly, đi đâu vậy? Đi mua đồ hả? Tao mua bánh cho Ly nè. Mua củ nè, bánh củ này thấy chưa?
Wow.
Đúng rồi, mua cho con thích nè. Thôi đi về ăn bánh nhá, thấy chưa nè? Tao bỏ giờ đây tí nhá. Khỏi đi nhá. Đi về ha. Này, tao có một củ nữa này. Thấy chưa? Thôi đi về ha.
The outing came to an end, and the exciting adventures had left the little monkey exhausted. Lily fell asleep almost immediately on her soft bed. Not wanting to disturb his daughter's sleep, her dad quietly went out to the garden behind the house, where the apple tree was heavy with fruit, and began to pick a basket of fresh, delicious apples. The morning sun streamed through the window, waking Lily. She stretched out long, feeling her body full of energy. She didn't see her dad, but this time Lily wasn't worried. She knew he was just nearby. With incredible independence, Lily started her new day on her own. She dutifully went to the bathroom and skillfully climbed onto the tall sink. She grabbed her tiny toothbrush, put toothpaste on it herself, and began to brush her teeth like a pro. After rinsing her mouth, she even drank cool water straight from the tap to start her day fresh. Just then, her dad returned with a basket of plump, bright red apples.
Chào Ly nhá, mới dậy hả?
Seeing that his daughter had already gotten herself clean, he couldn't hide his pride. Good morning, my diligent little girl, he said, stroking Lily's head. To reward her for being so responsible, he decided to make a special snack.
Rồi, đi lên đây. Đi lên đây. Rồi, đúng rồi. Ai ngoan nè, ai ngoan nè. Ai ngoan nè. À, đi ngoan đúng không? Đi vào đây nhé. Ly chào. Chào. Đi đâu đến đấy? Đây, ở đây ha. Trên này là ba để cắt không được trèo lên nhé. Thấy chưa? Chào nhé. Rồi.
He took an apple, skillfully peeled away the thin skin, and cut it into small, bite-sized pieces.
Sao? Này, nguyên vỏ luôn nhỉ? Chờ tí nha. Bỏ đây nhé. Đây Ly này.
Lily was very excited. Her dad demonstrated first, putting a few pieces of apple into a glass. Lily understood immediately. Her tiny hands carefully picked up the pearly white apple slices and slowly dropped them into the glass.
Ngon không? Không được thế đâu. Không được như thế đâu. Đúng rồi. Bây giờ ba tìm cho Ly nho nhé.
After the layer of apples came the grapes.
Đấy.
She meticulously plucked each grape from its stem and put it in, creating a beautiful layer of green.
2 cái luôn nha. Đi giỏi quá nhỉ. Đây, ba thử thêm đây quả này nha. Rau này. Nè. Xích đây này, xích đây này. Ba nhìn thấy gì đấy? Đúng rồi, xích ra bên này. Đây. Đấy, con tự làm mình đi. Đúng rồi. Hao vào ăn nhé. Ngon quá hả? Đây. Đúng rồi. Rồi. Thêm vào đây nha. Đây nha. À. Rồi bình tĩnh nha. Đây.
Finally came the sweet longan pulp.
Thêm vào nữa nha. Đây. Đây con. Đúng không? Ta quả nó đều nha. Đây vào đây ha. Thăng vào đây.
Which was a little slippery and took her some effort to place.
Giờ sao? Giờ sao? Thấy tôi chua rồi. Bây giờ đi mua sữa chua cho ba nhé. Nha.
Ok.
Đi mua sữa chua nhé.
Seeing her dad preparing food, Lily wanted to contribute more.
Đúng rồi, đúng không?
She trotted off to get a bag, then quickly ran to buy a cup of yogurt. While Lily was busy with her mission, her dad carefully cut a few slices of bright red watermelon for decoration.
Đây nè, đây ba nè, giỏi lắm. Đưa cái túi ra, đưa cái túi ra, đưa cái túi ra. Đúng rồi. Để bà xếp lại thêm tí nữa nha. Đây rồi bông nha.
The glass had now transformed into a work of art, a lavish fruit medley with brilliant layers of color, the result of their teamwork.
Chờ đợi một tí nữa mới ngon nhé Ly nhá. Thấy chưa? Này dư quá rồi nhỉ. À. Thì bỏ đấy à? Thì bỏ đấy à? Đây. Đây này. Xem nhé. Đi ngồi nào. Chụp ảnh quá nào. Nè. Đặt xuống đi. Ra bàn đi. Đi. Đây này, ở đây lấy cái tiền con. Đúng rồi, lấy cái này đi. Đó. Rồi, bụng đây hả? Bụng quá hả?
The dad and daughter sat down together to enjoy their delicious snack. The sweetness of the fruit blended with the creaminess of the yogurt to create a wonderful flavor.
Và đây dành cho đi nhá. Rồi ăn đi. Ăn hỗn rồi hả? Ăn hỗn rồi hả? Ăn hư hả? Đây. À. Đúng rồi, ăn như vậy nhá, đúng rồi đấy. Rồi, vừa nói xong câu trước câu sau rồi. Câu trước câu sau là Ly quên rồi. Sai Ly, sai rồi, sai rồi. Đúng rồi đấy. Xem Ly ăn hỗn cỡ nào.
After they finished, her dad took a warm cloth and wiped Lily down, making her clean and fresh. Now, we need to get ready for dinner, he said. Today, my daughter will be the one to go to the market for me.
Muốn cho Ly ra ngoài đi mua đồ để cô ấy đi chơi luôn. Đi dạo chơi ngoài cho thoải mái nhé Ly nhá. Thấy chưa? Nè, đi ra lấy mũ đi. Nè, lấy mũ kìa. Cái túi lấy mũ đi. Đúng rồi, mang cái đây.
He got Lily a cute hat, a small crossbody bag, and a little wagon.
Đeo vào đi con, đeo vào. Đấy. Hư đó. Rồi đeo túi vào đi. Đúng không? Cho tiền này.
Most importantly, he placed some money in her hand, entrusting his daughter with a mission of great confidence.
Bây giờ này, bây giờ Ly đi ra chợ này, đi mua này, mua đồ ăn này, đi mua đồ ăn cho dê đấy nhá, được không? Này đi bỏ đây nhá, con ngồi này, con ngồi này, này bỏ cho Ly nhá. Rồi cẩn thận mất đi chưa? Này, đi ra
Lily was incredibly excited. She put on her hat and bag and bravely pulled her little wagon out of the house. Her destination was the bustling country market, not far from home. The familiar village path now became a stage for her to show off her independence. Meanwhile, at home, her dad didn't rest. He took the opportunity to do their laundry, the small house filled with an air of diligent work. At the market, after some careful selection, Lily filled her wagon with all sorts of fresh vegetables and pulled it home triumphantly. Her dad came out to the yard to welcome his little shopper home. Seeing the wagon filled to the brim with fresh vegetables, the result of his daughter's labor, he couldn't hide his pride and emotion. He sat down, opened his arms wide, and praised her endlessly. "My daughter is so clever. Thank you so much." They joyfully brought the spoils into the kitchen to prepare a special dinner. Her dad began to prep the ingredients Lily had worked so hard to buy. He gave Lily some very important jobs. He took a green bean and showed Lily how to snap it, making a fun snap sound.
Bẻ.
Lily immediately copied him.
Đó.
At first, her small fingers were a bit clumsy, but after a moment, she figured out the trick and did it skillfully.
Cảm ơn Ly nhé. Đây của con đây.
The little kitchen was filled with the rhythmic snap, snap of the beans, full of laughter and a sense of perfect teamwork.
Đây. Tiếp bọn luôn nhé. Cái này mình chia ra một nửa nhé, rồi ba làm cho Ly một nửa ha. Bẻ con, bẻ, không, cái này bẻ ra. Đúng rồi. Ngon không? Đúng rồi. Giỏi quá. Đây rồi. Này cái kiểu bán nhạc chị nhỉ? Để cái. Rồi đó đây. Đây. Đây rồi. Đây là cái cà rốt nhé. Rồi nó bỏ đi đi. Đây nữa. Đây rồi. Bỏ đi con. Đây. Đó. Đúng rồi, đây cái này. Đứng đấy đi con. Rồi, đây nữa.
When all the ingredients were ready and her dad began to cook,
Đây, bây giờ bạn làm cho Ly táo ăn nhé, được không? Ha. Làm Ly táo nhé, xong rồi bạn đổ cái kia nhé. Đấy. Cẩn thận nhé. Táo ngon đấy ha. Kia đi nào. Đúng rồi đấy. Rồi, đây nữa không? Có lên nữa không? Thêm nữa không? Ngon không? À, ngon hả? Đây. Đây. Bỏ đi con. Đây, cẩn thận rơi hết nha. Rồi, cái này cho đi này. Đi. Đi ngoan đó, cảm ơn Ly nhé. Có xuống ghế đi con. Ngoan đâu? Đúng rồi, Ly ngoan nhỉ? Bắt tay Ly cái này. Đấy. Đây, của Ly này.
while she waited, Lily sat properly in her chair, using her small fork to spear and enjoy the crisp, sweet apple slices.
Đi vào ăn đi nhé.
Before long, the first dish was ready. A delicious aroma filled the air.
À, vẫn còn nói bụng hả? Trời ơi. Đây, cho đi.
Her dad brought out a plate of steaming, bright green boiled green beans. This was the greatest prize from her trip to the market.
Đưa bỏ cái này cho làm cho nó dễ nhá. Nhá. Ngon quá, cũng được, ngon quá hả? Đây này. À, đi ăn cà rốt à? Ô, cà rốt ngon vậy hả? Đúng rồi đấy. Được, ngon mà Linh nhỉ?
The video ends with an incredibly heartwarming image. Lily sitting in her chair, eating sweet apple slices while enjoying the green beans she had helped bring home.
Rớt kìa, đây rồi.
Dinner that night was perhaps the most delicious meal ever because it was not only cooked with her dad's boundless love, but was also created from her own effort and proud contribution.
Đây, đây nữa. Rồi, con bỏ xuống đi. Ăn xong chưa? Từ từ đã, ăn xong đi đã, ăn xong rồi đánh răng nhé. Ăn xong đi, rồi dọn này đánh răng đi ngủ nhé. Thôi đi nào đi. Đi nào. Đúng rồi, xuống đấy đánh răng đi. Đi nào. Đi lại đi ngủ nhé, chưa? Đi đi. Đi nào. Xem này tí đừng ngủ nhé. Đây. Thế cái nào? Xem. Đây này, đây này. Con lạc đà này, thấy không? Con lạc đà này. Quấn 8. Con lạc đà đấy, đúng rồi. Khiên hay thậm chí hủy diệt một sự sống, nhưng chỉ có năng lượng vô tình, vô hình của tình yêu mới có thể mở trái tim con người. Và trước khi tôi làm chủ được công nghệ, tôi vẫn chẳng hơn gì một kẻ bán hàng trong chốn chợ đời. Trong những cuộn giấy da này, tôi tuyệt đối sẽ không xem nhẹ chúng, dù chúng ngắn gọn hoặc đơn giản đến đâu.